We should. We should make up a song.
Okay, is that is that what we'll lead with?
Yeah, let's lead with a song.
Okay.
Hold on. I think
It's going to be
we're
worse
live
than
now.
Randy Newman.
Hold on.
It's your computer that's washing you out, by the way.
My computer's washing me out.
Yes. If you can keep your screen dark, that helps.
All right, I'll take my brightness down.
And reduce, it's not so much the brightness, it's whether you have a big blank white page on your computer.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Never mind.
So let's
Anyway,
just
I was gonna
let's just
say
go live.
we are live. We've been live.
We've been live?
We've
Really?
been live, and I'm waiting for your song.
Oh my. We're on the air. That was the origin of George Takei's Oh My.
Living process going live.
That's about the song that I wrote.
All
So
right.
we've got the topic of the day is the School of Art and Design, the Living Process School of Art and Design, to be titled. I think it should have a one-word title, but we'll come up with that later. And you have already been teaching students, Dana, haven't you? You already have students in Versailles.
Yes, I have maybe four students now.
Yeah.
4 or 5 students, and yeah, it's going really great. We're doing a lot of
Mhm.
BIM work. That's Revit, if you guys don't know. We're doing like 3D modeling, basically.
And for people who don't know what BIM or Revit is, BIM and Revit are 3D drafting, parametric 3D drafting things for
Yeah,
architecture.
exactamo. So it's basically a software for 3D modeling that allows for making really, really good plans and all of that. But we're
Hmm.
also teaching in Rhino, we're teaching in Grasshopper, and yeah. So
Lou is learning Rhino from you, isn't she?
Lou, yeah, my friend Lou, my student, she's learning Rhino with me, and it's going really great. We're having lots of fun.
You would think that with something like Rhino, Nikki Haley would be your student. Huh?
Why?
Rhino? I said
Oh,
Nikki Haley.
oh my God, David, don't make
So,
stupid jokes.
badumpching.
But what? But-ching?
I said badumpching.
But dump-ching. Oh, that's a new
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
What are you smoking
Emphasis
today?
emphasis on the dump.
The dump. What are you smoking?
This morning, it is, what is this? This is Aaron Moore. It's another flake, Virginia. Aaron Moore flake.
Aaron Moore
De-
Flake.
Depending on whom you ask, it tastes like either pineapple or bubblegum. I
That
don't think
sounds
it tastes like
amazing.
either, but it is a sweeter blend. And I'm having this in my, this is an unstamped, unfinished Savinelli that I got in a shop in Napoli. Um, yeah. So this is like a factory second, factory reject Savinelli, but it's very good. They were experimenting, and so they sold it for only 30 euros.
Cool.
So this pipe has been lots of places.
Oh, I bet.
Uh-huh.
You're a pretty crazy guy. I bet it's been a lot of places around the world.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome. Yeah, uh, we're doing a lot of really cool work with teaching, and I've expanded my teaching horizon to art. And
Hmm.
so so I'm going to be teaching art classes, oil painting, acrylic painting, and illustration for like
Yes.
architecture and stuff like that.
And you do have
And
experience in sculpture, don't you? You've done photorealistic classical sculpture.
yes, yeah, I do also sculpt in clay. I've yet to go into stone, but it sounds interesting, so I'd love to
Mhm.
try that.
And there's a
Uh,
nice kind of synergy, even though that's a terrible word sometimes. There's a nice synergy between BIM and architecture and sculpting in stone. Why? Because you can design something in 3D and then have it CNC cut on a multiple access CNC machine, which means that the stone of any given size that fits within the machine, you can sculpt into any shape that you have articulated in the 3D architecture, which we could use Rhino for that. Even though I like Revit better than Rhino, that is something that Rhino would be better at, don't you think?
um, I mean, yeah, actually, yeah, I would say for like CNC or shop drawings like that, it would be better in Rhino because you're probably going to want to export to like a DWG or something. It probably wouldn't matter actually.
Not for
It would.
CNC. I doubt you would use DWG for CNC. It would probably be something like a 3D file.
Mm, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know how
I've
the
never
machines
used
work.
CNC.
They would have to tell us. We do
Yeah.
export to DWG for our very nice clients in Riverside who are going to
Mm,
be sending along the advanced milestone soon.
yeah, I don't know why I was thinking of laser cutting, but yeah, with laser cutting you use DWG, but yeah, with
Yeah, because it's two-dimensional. Laser cutting's
yeah,
two-dimensional, usually.
good point. Good point, David. Yeah. So
Ah,
yeah, awesomeness. We're going to be teaching classes, and a really big one that we want to that we're setting up is to have a class in Versailles at my place, my studio here, and we're going to be doing like a Gothic, really really cool Gothic iterations, and that's the name of the class is Gothic iterations.
so that
Um,
means you change your top knots and mustaches.
I don't get it. What?
That's Gothic iterations. You change around your top knots and mustaches while you tear down statues. It's an old joke.
Okay.
Gothic.
Okay.
The
We're not
Goths, they tore down,
Antifa.
the Goths tore down statues when they had mustaches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're doing your history thing.
History nerd joke.
History nerd joke. I need to get into that. I really do. David, can you just make me another podcast?
Well, yes.
So,
Right now I have to catch up. Right now I have to catch up on laws of light. We're days behind on laws of light, and
yeah,
it's
David,
overcast. That's a
it's
coincidence.
it's overcast.
So I'm going to be updating that.
The sun can't arrive until laws of light happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, we're still deciding on the date, but Gothic iterations are coming up. Um, as soon as we get more students ready for that. So basically, Gothic iterations is where we're going to be exploring the creation of Gothic architecture with the use of AI and turning AI into 3D models, and
Mhm.
then using those 3D models to create flying buttresses and Gothic architecture. And we're going to be creating, like, playing with the use of AI, with the use of creating families and all of that in Revit. And so we're going to be doing all of that in Revit. And that's going to be super, super cool. Gothic iterations.
Specifically for rows window parameters. I've seen you do that before. You're very good at it, and that you can plug something in. And what is it, Grasshopper that you use for that,
No,
or
no, just
Dynamo?
Dynamo. Yeah, yeah, just
So
Dynamo.
you'd use the Dynamo plugin, which for those who aren't familiar with this listening, Dynamo is something where you use Python code parameters. So software code parameters to where you dial in numbers and things and ranges. And so then you change what the rows window looks like because you tell it, oh, I want to have 8 little circles. I want to have 12 little circles, and it updates stuff like that. And updates it instantly. And then
Yes.
also, Dana, talking about the origin of Gothic, I'll just ask you this. This is another history thing where it's our history moment right here. Do you know where and when Gothic was discovered and or invented?
No.
A short train ride. I've told you this before, but you do remember I put you on the spot. I apologize for that. Gothic was developed and invented a short train ride north of you.
Well, that's why I don't need to know these things because I have you and you're my history brain. All of that is supposed to be somewhere, but that's okay because you fill that.
Mhm.
I'm just the nerdy computer geek artist girl that makes architecture drawings. You know all the
By the way,
history stuff.
how's my orientation? I had to mute my phone.
You're on your side, but I kind of like you like that.
No. It's like a Brian Eno video from the 1980s. He used to do that. It was one of the laziest music videos ever.
You're on your side. I can deal with that. Oh, David's choppy. David's gone out into outer space. Oh no, we lost David. I think we lost him. So, anyways, I'm gonna wait for David while we
Yes.
sip on this tea.
Hello?
Hello, David. Are you there? Are you available? All right, you guys. David has abandoned us. So I don't know. Maybe you guys want to like write in the comment section or something like what kind of architecture would you like to see in 3D modeling? Like what type of architecture would you like to see or be a part of in a class? Or if you were to take an art class. Let's check on David. Let's see where he's at. David, where are you? Are you coming back? Back? The world is waiting. The world is waiting for you. Anyway, so really awesome stuff that we're doing right now with teaching and Gothic iterations. And I need David here so I could talk about the next class. Let's see where he is. Phone call. Oh. Okay. I'm 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 talking. I'm tenting to. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Am here and we're live. We are live, not live. I won't give up on you, David. I won't. I won't give up on you. I won't cancel this live, even though your phone is messed up. I won't give up on this live. You guys, if David doesn't come back, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, are you guys watching the news lately? Like, what is going on with the news and the politics? Honestly, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I don't want to say. I don't want to think. I don't want to be. I just want to. I don't know. Hello, David's back. Are you back, David?
Yeah, here we
Oh, you're
go.
back.
Hmm.
Ooh, you're bad. All right, David. Anyway, so you're back.
Apologies for that, everyone. So what's going on with that was there was a phone call that came in that interrupted the connection, but we have solved that now.
Good.
So what I was mentioning earlier was how Gothic was invented directly north of where Dana, not directly north, a bit to the northeast, but the city of Saint Denis, which is straight north of Paris. That is where the first ever Gothic cathedral was built. It was a renovation of an older cathedral that was overseen by the Abbot Suger, who was a childhood friend of Louis the Sixth or Louis the First, or one of the very, I forget which Louis, but one of the very early Louis. He went to daycare with him when they were both boys.
Oh, that's so cute.
And Abbot Suger was the adopted kid who was an orphan, and the king was the guy who was nice to him. And so they were good friends when they were growing up.
Oh, well, that's nice. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you like my bouncy chair?
Yes, makes you very blurry. You should try to sit still.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, I was talking about, yes, so it's really, really great to have you as a part of our team because
Mm-hmm.
with your knowledge of history and my course on the Gothic stuff, it's going to be really important to have you on my team
Sure.
for that.
Thank you. Yes, and important for you to be on the living process team with all of us too, and these students. I think one of the things that I enjoyed doing in classes earlier is that we would work towards creating. I did this with the Harvard GSD in 2012, ADPD 2012, where a bunch of students put their work together and published it in a book at the end of the course. And you can still see and download that from online, somewhere, I think, in the Apple iBook store. But
That
what we
is
can do,
lovely.
what?
That's lovely.
Yes. So the one thing that's important is with the Gothic is that it's a great idea for your students to be able to go visit the Cathedral of Saint Denis, to go do sketches outside of it, and to really see and experience how that visual structure is articulated, is expressed, how the joints, how the joinery works, the structural conception, and seeing the various different layers of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're gonna so when we have Gothic iterations live, like when we have it together here in France, we are gonna do site visits, and
Mhm.
our first site visit is gonna be the first Gothic cathedral that you had spoken about. And we're also going to visit Notre Dame,
Mhm.
to pay respects to its reopening.
And it's easier
And
to get to. Notre Dame is kind of like the self-conscious Gothic. Saint
mm,
Denis was the first Gothic, and it came out a little pseudomorphosis awkward, but it was
oh,
very important. Saint Denis is also where you have the cenotaph markers, the grave monuments of all the French kings. So that's very special.
wow.
But Notre Dame, it has the symmetrical facade on the westworks, which most cathedrals don't have, and everything is very carefully done. And Notre Dame is much, much later. And so this was a self-conscious Gothic as such. So it's instructive to see and understand the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be visiting some not just Gothic cathedrals, but we're also going to be visiting the catacombs.
Okay.
So
Yes, good.
yeah, we're going to be visiting the Paris catacombs because what we're going to be doing is taking some pictures from the catacombs. We're going to be taking pictures. I'm basically telling you the curriculum for how this class is going to be oriented, and then you guys let us know if you're interested in taking this course. So we're going to be
And
going
how
into the
should they reach out to you, Dana? What's the best way for them to reach you?
You can reach out to us from either our Instagram at Living Process, or you can reach out to us. Can they
Email info@livingprocess.net. Email
Yeah.
info@livingprocess.net.
Yeah, or just put in the comment section down below that you're interested. That works too.
Well,
Um,
it's better to email.
yes, better to email, but you know what? If you
But you
write in the comment section,
should like, share, and subscribe.
always do that.
Yes.
Always do that. Don't forget. Don't
Smash
forget.
that like button.
Smash it.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah. So basically within the class, what we're going to be doing that makes this class fun is we're going to be going into the catacombs. We're going to be taking some really crazy, interesting pictures. And with those pictures, we're going to use those to generate our Gothic illustrative images. We're going to be using the images of from the catacombs that we take, and we're going to use AI to modify those images into like some type of like Gothic, either Gothic rib vaulting or Gothic facades. We're going to be doing facades and the rib vaulting probably. So, and so then we're going to be taking those images and creating 3D models out of them, and then seeing how we can use those in either the facade work or the rib vaulting work. And
right. I think that is very key in terms of the pedagogical process, because you're using AI with your students. You're not using AI as some type of gimmick. You're not using AI as some type of crutch. You're using AI like we use it professionally with clients, which is you do not start with the AI. You do not have the AI produce your end product that you put into a pitch slideshow. You use it as a way to explore options.
yeah, exactly.
Right? And explain how that works, because I am convinced that this is the correct use of AI instead of the other two ways I described. Go ahead.
Yeah, you definitely, I mean, unless you're the end result for AI works if you're creating like imaginary places that have no class or no context or anything.
And therefore no clients and no project.
No clients, no project, nothing.
Yes,
You're
but
just creating cool images. Those
you don't
are
need to
cool
spend time. You don't need to spend time on that right now. But just talk about how we would use it for how we have used it for real clients and real projects, where we use it to imagine versions of decisions in the middle of the process.
Oh yeah, AI has been. I love AI, and I don't care what anybody says. AI is amazing. So basically, how I will use AI is, let's say I have a room that I render. I will sketch over it by hand, some maybe a little plant over here, or some little flowers over there, maybe adding some new type of chair and a new sofa, something different. I will be drawing in by hand the interior design, and then I will put my drawing into AI and have AI turn my drawing, my sketch, into a real thing. And then I will take those real things, remove the background, and then put those isolated, created, generative sketches. And
to be picky about it, it's not a real thing, but it's a realistic looking thing. That you've gone from a line drawing to a shaded with light sources and shadows, and pretty much what you're describing is a lot like comic books, isn't it? It's a lot like comic books. You start out with a line drawing, and what the AI is the AI is your colorist. When someone is drawing Superman, they draw Superman jumping over a building, and he's a stick figure. And he's jumping over the building, kind of. And then you send your storyboard off to your illustrator and your colorist, and then they send it back, and they say, how does that look? And you say, wow, that's a nice comic book. Let's print it. And then you do your other things, and then you get your final thing which you send out, which people look at and enjoy as the fully visual comic book. And the AI part takes care, it speeds up the time-consuming middle stuff of filling in the color and the light and the shade from the line drawings to the fully fleshed out. And it helps you look at options and say, wait a minute, for example, going back to the rose window, saying, oh, wait a minute, I wanted to use a 4 pattern, or I wanted to use a 5 pattern, trefoils versus quatrefoils. What's that going to look like? You could create 2 options of surrounding your rose window with quatrefoils, and then a second option surrounding your rose window with trefoils.
Yes.
That would take a lot of time. But if you do it in AI, you see them right away.
Yes, and the way that we're going to be doing rose windows with AI is really interesting and spectacular too. So there's 2 different ways that we're going to be doing this.
Spectacular.
So instead of starting with parametric line drawings and doing sacred geometries, what we're going to start with is creating mandalas by hand. We're going to draw mandalas on our tablets or our computers, and using a software, mandala software, to hand illustrate our mandalas. And then we take those mandalas, we put them into we put them into AI and have the AI generate really awesome rose windows. And then we either create 3D models from that, and then we could put it into our Revit software as its own family, like its own rose window family that can change size
from there,
parametrically.
Once you get it into Revit, it's not the real thing, but it's closer to being the real thing, because from Revit, you can cast out your dimensions, you can declare your materials, you'll show your thickness, and you rotate around it in 3D and create shop drawings, which would then tell les artisans how to proceed, and actually your contractors and your artisans to make the thing that's actually real, that people enjoy.
Yeah, and the thing is that once you take it, here's where it's taking AI. They say, oh, it's not a real drawing. Here's where it is taking AI and turning it into a real drawing.
That's the key that you say, turning it into. Yeah,
you're taking the AI and you're establishing it as either a 2-dimensional thing that's the 3D is going to give it depth. Okay, and so you're either creating a facade that then has depth to it, or you're creating images that are then meant to give you ideas on how you're going to articulate the 3D space. And and then what's really great is that then after we have the 3D models set as our rose windows, we can easily in one click change the size of our windows, and they cut every time.
Right. You change, and that's what the parametricism is. That's what parametric means. It means using parameters, changing parameters, that you change the number of divisions in your rose window, and then your 3D model goes click and it updates instead of you reworking everything by hand.
Yeah. And so that's going to be really fun. That's going to be really, really fun. So that is for Gothic Iterations. We're waiting to publish the date of that. I'm super excited to reach out to the Goth community, all my Clan of Zymox fans.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what is the countdown? Declare, think right now. Think of a countdown to the declaration of the date of the start of that class.
I would say when Notre Dame fully opens to the public. That's happening soon, I believe. Let's look at
so keep an eye. How about we update this? Keep an eye on livingprocess.net, which is our website, and we'll have links to our school where we give you updates. So if you want to check on the progress of these announcements, go to our website where we will post the updates.
Yes, and on December 8th, Notre Dame fully opens to the public. So you know what?
That's it.
Let's make an awesome proposal that we are going to tell you that we're going to disclose the date of Gothic iterations on the day of the opening of Notre Dame.
December 8th, we announce the course dates of Gothic
Yes.
iteration.
Yes.
Let it be written.
Yes. And so then there's another course I'm going to tell you about, which is really cool also.
The Conte crayon.
The content crayon.
It's a Conte crayon. It's very appropriate.
Cool. So then there's another course that I'm going to tell you guys. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, David.
Mhm. It is written
It's,
here.
it's written on the tobacco. So, there's another course. It's going to be really fun. And this
Mhm.
one is called, it's not going to be as long as the Gothic iterations. Gothic iterations is going to take a while because we're really going to focus on the facades and the vaulting. This
There's
one
another
is-
course. Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to announce another course when you're done.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead and announce your course and then we'll go back.
This is version 2.0 of Rome, Where Are We? Which many people have been anticipating. The dates for this will be announced on Election Day, November 5th. So everybody's going to be thinking about the election. Everybody's going to be busy watching the polls and going to markets to track the betting averages about who's going to win. And then they're going to think, oh, wait, they're going to wake up the next day and say, what do we do now? And so that's what this course answers, is after the election, what do we do now? And what did people do
Yes.
before? What did people do in ancient Rome? That's what this is about. It's about understanding the analogy between the past and the present to think about our future.
Wow, that is super, super cool. I love the way you explained that. I'm excited
you.
for that course, Rome, Where Are We? And so in Rome, Where Are We? Like, can you explain a little bit? Are you going to be creating drawings? Are you going to be writing? Are you going to be talking? Like, what is it that you're going to do in Rome, Where Are We?
This is a history course. There's reading and writing. There's lectures. So if you go to the Living Process YouTube channel, you can see the lectures. And so there will be new versions of these lectures, but this is not like something like Masterclass or something like the Peterson Academy, where you simply have pay-per-view. No, you subscribe to our course, and for the subscription fee, which we will be posting, you listen to the lectures and you participate in a Zoom class like we have here. And it's a Zoom class that is then recorded so you can hear everybody's discussion. Your discussion gets public. Your questions get to be what we answer and we discuss. You're a student, you're paying, you're in charge of very much of the content of the seminar. Then what I would like to happen is that the students then write reactions. They write reactions to each class. I don't want this to be a high pressure thing. This is not a test. But you just write a reaction to each reading. The readings are mostly Plutarch. Some of it's Suetonius, but it's mostly Plutarch. And then we have the at the end of it, it would be editing and rewriting, is that you'll have chapters because of all the course things that you've gone along and that you've written. Now, if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to write any of that, fine, don't write it. But then you're missing out. Because if you don't write anything, then you're not submitting anything to the final deal. So the written thing is going to be there, which if you simply do a little bit each week, you will be surprised at having this wonderful kind of multi-chapter thingy that we append together in a magazine. That's what magazine means. It means a bunch of thingies all together. And you put them together and it's a magazine.
Oh,
and so then
interesting.
we're going to release that. We're going to release that in an online published form, which we will sell and divide up the profits to all of you, to all of the contributors.
Oh,
So
that
when
is
you
so
tell your
cool.
friends to buy it and they purchase it and they enjoy it and they tell their friends, the revenue goes to you.
That is
That's the
super
idea.
cool. I love that. What a great idea. Like, so you're thinking to create a magazine.
Yes, a single issue magazine,
Oh,
a
like
periodical.
okay, so every time you have a course, you're gonna have a magazine or like, you know, an after course
The
kind of flip book.
proceedings of the course, yes.
Well, that is super cool. I love that.
And it's just like the White Stripes said, it bears repeating.
Yeah, there you go. Um, that's really interesting. And I would love to see if maybe you guys meet in person in Rome and like, you know, travel Rome around Rome and
That would be a good thing to explore. Now, that would take a lot of coordination. Don't shy away from the course if you can't travel to Rome, because we didn't do any in-person meetups for the first version of the course, but especially since you're going to be having this stuff organized in Versailles, there have been expressions from online, people who shall remain nameless at the moment, people who are sculptors in Belgium, might be interested in all of this. Sure know who you are, darlings.
what
You're
would be
sculpt. You're sculpt marvelous.
you know what would be kind of cool is to
Nobody gets that joke. Anyway,
it would be cool. I don't know, you guys, let us know in the comment section what you think about this idea. But I was thinking maybe, David, if you guys could do like you know, 3 days or something where you guys meet up in Rome, you guys do like, you know, whoever wants to join you in Rome, and then every evening of those 3 days, you do a Zoom, a live Zoom, and have the course with everybody else who's participating in the
oh,
course. But they,
yes, that would be great, but we're not there yet. That would be a
yeah,
version 3.0. That would be a
yeah,
version 3.0. And by the way, the more people who subscribe, the closer we are to version 3.0. Let's keep in mind this is version 2.0. But if
okay.
we had maybe 7 people in version 1.0. If we have maybe 15 or 20 people in version 2.0, then that helps fund version 3.0. And this is how we bootstrap.
Yes, and version 2.0 of the Gothic iterations, or 1.0, sorry, is
Mhm.
doing this also online. So we're gonna start doing this online together, and you know it's not going to be as cool as the live version, but it helps to, you know, kind of get the word out, kind of get the idea out there. And it's going to be a repeating course because it's so
How,
cool and
how
fun.
many of your and by the way, you can definitely go to Saint Denis and send people live stream videos while they
Yeah.
discuss live with you. And that can
Okay.
definitely happen. You can go to Notre Dame and send them live videos while you live discuss.
Yes. Well, I can't go inside Notre Dame yet.
You can go outside it.
Yeah.
You've been to those bleachers, haven't you? You go outside it and people eat their lunches and stare at it.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna have another course also. So there's 3 courses that I actually four. There's 4 courses that I have lined up right
Like
now.
it's like some kind of Spanish Inquisition. Five courses.
David. All right.
What's
So
your fourth course?
we have 4 courses. So our course that we're doing right now, we're working on that. We have that going now. Is recreating the classics, and
Mhm.
that recreating the classics, we have Villa Elizarchus right now that we're doing. And basically recreating the classics is basically recreating classical architecture in BIM.
Okay.
In Revit, we're recreating it in 3D modeling. And also, you know, we can do this by hand drawing too. We can work on this artistically with our hands. I want to get more hand stuff going with our hands, not just computers. But so Yeah, so right now we have recreating the classics. We're going over Villa Les Arches by Pierre Chabat. And then the
And what
second
type of
floor,
house is that?
it's a, I mean, it looks like a Tudor.
Okay.
It looks like an old
So,
classical Tudor.
so it's a half timber. And to be precise, Tudor is different from classical. You can use classical in the general sense to say classical Tudor, but it is not classical in the sense of Greek and Roman because it is a typical, perhaps you could say, a typical example of half timber construction. Not necessarily Tudor if
Yeah.
it's a French villa.
Yeah, we're not talking about classical architecture. We're talking about classics. So classic,
Right.
recreating the classics, like the
Yes.
classic, like the historical architecture.
Mhm.
This was something from like the early 1800s or something. But anyway, so there's recreating the classics, then we also have the Gothic iterations, and then we also have sacred geometries.
Good.
Sacred geometries is where we're using parametrics and hand drawings to create sacred geometries in 3D software, or like in using
Which, by the
Grasshopper.
way, the sacred geometries are exactly how the rose windows and the archways in the Westworks of something like Notre Dame was created, something like, go into the jargon here, the Vesica Piscis and so forth, and
Yes.
probably also Flower of Life.
Yes, exactly. So sacred geometries is going to be coming before Gothic iterations, because
Okay.
if you take Gothic iterations by itself, you're only going to be using AI uh to create that. But if you take the sacred geometries course before the Gothic iterations, you'll be ready for blending the two and having a more cohesive, you'll be having more fun
And
creating
so
it.
and so to keep this clear and organized for people, we definitely should be, as soon as possible, updating a schedule with a little infographic on the Living Process website, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah,
We should be able to
definitely.
have that within the next couple of days.
Yes, exactly. So we have recreating the classics that's ongoing now. It happens every weekend. We go over recreating the classics. Then we're gonna have sacred geometries. Then is coming Gothic iterations, and then the fourth one is really fun. It's called Coco Rococo, and this one is an interior design session where we're gonna be doing Rococo architecture in BIM and with the use of AI. And we're gonna it's gonna be an interior design course, and we're gonna have fun because we're gonna be drinking hot cocoa. Whether you're doing this virtually or you're in person, we're all gonna be having hot cocoa while we do Coco Rococo, and it's gonna be kind of
Okay.
that fun thing.
So we do have five, because five is Rome, where are we?
Oh yes, five is Rome. Where are we? Cool. So we've got all of those. That's really cool.
Well, there we go. And that's a wonderful start for an extremely well-rounded, phased course. And the full schedule, we'll upload an earlier schedule, but the full schedule, bum, 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 we're expecting by December 8th.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And all you goths out there, just know I love you. And I also hate
Sponsored by,
what is it? Twiggings?
sponsored by,
Twinnings. Irish breakfast tea. Oh, I thought that was,
that's what
see,
this
I
is.
I thought that was your pipe tobacco.
Clients walk in. No, I don't smoke tea. No, no. Clients come in here and they like to imagine that this is whiskey.
Well, I could see you drinking whiskey, just chilling at your
I
desk.
do. I do, but not with a pipe and not at work.
Yeah, I could imagine. Here, let me turn on the light. I could
Yes, it has just
imagine.
passed sunset in Versailles.
Yes, it has. I could imagine that that smoking your pipe and drinking whiskey might not feel so good.
Kind of makes your mouth hurt if you persist at it. But some
Mm,
people do it. It's not great for your throat to do it, really.
I could imagine. Oh, I miss watching you smoke your pipe.
Oh, okay. Well, here you are.
I miss your pipe. I miss the way your pipe smells. Your pipe smells so good.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm glad that you enjoy it. I think it does smell very nice,
Yes,
especially this blend.
keep in mind, you guys, if you subscribe to our channel, help us get sponsored and help us get monetized by YouTube, David gets to
Yes,
visit me.
that's right. I definitely will. That funds from the YouTube would allow me to spend travel money to get over there and get all of this going to bring yet more benefits to you.
Yes, David. How long has it been since I've seen you in person?
Since November, it's been nearly a year.
Mm.
So you're coming back here, though, because you're taking care of visa paperwork. You're coming back on November 27th for a short time and then heading back to France again, correct?
Yes, I'm working on my visa here in the in I'm working on my visa at the French consulate back in the
Mm-hmm.
US. By the way, if anybody needs help with their visas, we're experienced. If anybody's trying to get a visa in France, you need some help or tips or pointers, just let us know. I'm happy to kind of fill you in with the process that I went through and tell you from my experience what how things went, what I had to do,
Yeah.
and the process of coming to France and staying in France for a certain amount of time, like long term or even short term. I'll tell you all the cool spots, all the places to go for like your phone service, all of that stuff. You're getting if you're moving here, getting your Wi-Fi, getting your paperwork, what you need to apply for, and also how to apply for a university, get your university degree transferred, all of that stuff. If anybody needs help with that, please contact me. I'm happy to help you out, give you pointers on that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, thank you guys so much for your support and for being part of this really cool team, being part of the living process culture. And we hope to see you guys next week. And in the meantime, we're going to be having recreating the classics again on live stream. So we're throwing out some free videos on our YouTube channel. Stick around for those free Revit videos.
We just
Free.
passed 400 subscribers, which means we're almost halfway to the magic number of 1,000, which helps us monetize. When we
Yeah.
monetize, you can send us super chats. Super chats. And so what you can do is send us $5, $1, $20 donations during our live stream for us to answer your questions directly.
Yes,
That's a
yes,
nice
and
feature.
exactly. And that way we'll be able to also monetize if we're going live and let's say I'm doing an art session, you're able to if you have a request, a special request for some type of art that you'd like me to do, we can do it like that as well.
That would be very nice. And right as we're closing, Dana, show your painting that you've been working on again.
Yes, the koi
It's
fish.
about to be delivered to your patron. It's almost done.
It's almost done. Yeah, it's almost done. I've been taking a little break on it since I went to Santorini, but we're gonna get back to it and it's almost finished.
What's the
So
dimensions on that?
that's probably about 4 feet by 5.5 feet.
There we go. It's a very large canvas. Dana enjoys working on large canvases.
Yeah, I do. I love, I do. I love big art. I don't know. For some reason, I know my mom, she always tells me to do small little stuff. Those
You
are
should do
coming back.
both. You should do
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, I will. I'll do both. But yeah, I just love that big art is where my heart is at.
And that gives you room to work in a lot of high resolution and a lot of photorealistic detail, which not many painters are capable of doing, but you are very, very good at.
Thank you. That means so much to me.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right.
All
Well,
right. Well,
let's sign off and we'll reconnect and then say hello to everyone next week on our next live stream.
yeah, guys. All right. We'll talk to you soon on the Living Process Live.